Elsipogtog. Congratulations, Wendell Nicholas. Our last speaker right now is going to be our captain, Noel Joe Augustine, just to explain to you the roles and responsibilities of the Grand Council. He is the captain of the 7th District. Chief, can you come up?
Captain Leo Elsipogtog. Grand Council, Signature District. Good morning. My name is Noel Joe Augustine. I'm the Grand Council of Signature District 6, and I live here in Elsipogtog. The Mi'kmaq Grand Council are traditional and constitutional government of the Mi'kmaq. We are the signatory of the Covenant of Change of treaties from 1725 to 1779, and have never given up in any treaty the guardianship rights or our earthly remains of our ancestors. The Mi'kmaq Grand Council is the head of state of Mi'kmaq, which consists of 7 districts. Maladio.
Well, Captain. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to have a question and answer period. So it'll be, the way we're going to do it is we're going to take questions from the press one at a time, then we will have closing statements. But I'll start off with, who would like to start off on questions? We're going to have Chief Aaron Sock answer the political questions. Pertaining to the political questions, we'll have Wendell Nicholas answer questions of public safety, public security, and we'll have the warrior chief answer questions about the warriors. So basically, that would cover our press conference this morning. So right now, I'm going to bring it back to the press for question and answers. Yes. Yes, my dear, in the back. Could you identify yourself, please?
Laura Brown with Global News. My first question of many is, who is in charge of the protest and what direct measures are you taking to control it? You spoke about your priorities, public safety, that everybody's going, that's a priority of yours, but how are you going to do that?
Just a second. Public security would go to that.
As to the question of who is leading the protest, in my role is to be neutral. And so when there are events that unfold, I have the obligation to ensure public safety is being adhered to. And so when there's a question of who is in control, that's my call, is to reach out to Chief Sock or to the War Chief or the District Chief in trying to clarify what is happening at that moment. Also, that to ensure public safety, that my role is to work with the RCMP or security or whoever, so that there's a good exchange, a proper exchange of information. And so I hope that answers your question.
So will RCMP be on sites that are, heating up potentially?
Well, yes, they certainly are present here, and we understand what their mandate is. Over the past few days, we've met to talk about their role and our role. And so when the issues develop, as they will very rapidly, rather than trying to contact 4 or 5 different people to find out what's going on, they will be contacting me, and then I will reach out to the community leaders to determine the best course of action to resolve something very quickly. And so I hope that answers it.
Sorry, protesters have been telling us that they feel like the RCMP have been more on the SWN resources side of things. So you're telling us that you have spoken to RCMP and you feel like they're as neutral as yourself?
Well, obviously not, because the RCMP I don't mean that as a dispersion at all. All I'm saying is that the RCMP have a mandate, and so it's not for me to question that mandate, but my role is understanding that, you know, they too, you know, have said that they want to have people safe. So we will do that together as best possible. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 in the morning, but we do our best to resolve a matter as it unfolds, and so that's what I'm obligated to do by direction of the chief.
And does that public safety insurance extend to the media?
Absolutely, and that's the reason that I've asked. Would be helpful for me to know who's here, and also that we are preparing a document that will help you as media in understanding the traditional practices here of not filming the sacred fire, and so I can let, you know, the protest site know, and other people know that we have presence of the media in the community. They may ask questions, but they understand the protocols of how they act when they're here in Elsipogtog First Nation, just as I have to understand, because I'm a guest here, and you will be a guest here. So we'll do that together and make sure that, and you know, I guess you're questioning about safety. I can tell you that since I've been here with my team, that, you know, we've been asked to intervene in a couple of situations where, you know, we're asked to resolve something, and at no time has myself or any of my team felt threatened, because we're here with peaceful people. And so I want to stress that to you, that what helps is that I know that you're here, and that we're working together to make sure that you get your job done, because you have to share news. You have to give information out. So I hope that helps.
There has been, I just have a question.
Excuse me, the next question is to this lady right here.
Hi, yes, thank you. Yes.
And can you explain yourself and which?
Yeah, my name is Ellen Branch. I'm with Hydro-Canada in Moncton.
Yes.
I'd just like to clarify your position, your role here. You are a UN observer, is that right? That's the thing I
Okay, I'm sorry, to be clear, that process of pulling together observations to provide to UN mechanisms, that ended formally last night. And so now my role is as peacekeeper for Elsipogtog. And so that is clearly what my mandate is now. But to be clear, that the role is a neutral role. And so, you know, at the moment, you know, I have to be careful, because obviously people will be heated, they'll have their opinion, and situations occur very rapidly. But I hope that what I've demonstrated in being here over the past few days is that there's always a way to resolve things peacefully, and I think we've demonstrated that.
So you're sort of the line of communication between the protesters and the other groups, all of the groups,
Yes,
and the
yes.
police, and okay.
Yes, and as a matter of fact, I'm sorry, I don't remember the woman's name, but there's a coalition, and we basically invited them to sit down with us next week. So, you know, again, if they're going to be protesting with the community here, and as the chief has said, this is not just an Indigenous issue. So, but my role is to make sure that, you know, there's good understanding of when people come, they're going to be safe, and that, you know, they can all exchange and share opinions. So.
Thank you once again, madam. The lady in the back, would you please identify yourself?
I'm Jennifer with CBC.
Yes.
This is another question for Wendell.
Another question for Wendell? Yes.
Probably better to stay. My question is, you talk a lot about communication with RCMP, and I know that throughout the protest there have been a lot of questions that people from First Nations have had with regards to how the RCMP have dealt with arrests when, you know, special ceremonies have been going on, sacred drumming. And how then will that communication between the RCMP continue? Because they say for the most part protests have been peaceful, but there are instances where they say they will have to step in And is there a communication and understanding that they are now going to follow that protocol that they have set out about how to deal with Aboriginal people when it comes to those instances where they may have to step in? How is that balance going to be struck?
The 2004 public safety protocol was a responsibility that was put onto me by, at the time, Commissioner Zaccardelli and National Chief Fontaine. And it was following, conflicts in Gustafson Lake and other places where, our people were, in difficult situations with the RCMP. And over time, the protocol has become policy within the RCMP. They also have policies about cultural practices, and what I've indicated to the officers that I've discussed with since I've come here is that each of us have our own knowledge about what culture means. And obviously, Elsipogtog, things are not done as they are done in say, British Columbia or Northern Canada. So what I would say is, let's take a breath. And when there is a situation that a traditional person is carrying on the ceremony, let's make sure that, every opportunity is given to that ceremony to be completed. Also mentioned that it was on Sunday that Chief Sock wrote to J Division. Unfortunately, there was a mix-up in the date on the letter that you'll see in your package. There was also a mix-up with Commissioner Lang. He's now retired. So, following this press conference, I'm meeting with RCMP officials, and we're going to work forward to arrange a time for the new Commissioner for J Division, Brown, to meet with Chief Sock and Council, so we can talk about the status of public safety and what we're all doing together, and understanding everyone's position on this, but firstly that we're protecting and understanding what we need to do together.
Yes, the gentleman right here.
Yeah, my name's Miles from Media Co-op. My question is for Chief Aaron Sock. Am I correct that SWN is taking 4 days off right now? Within a period like that?
From what I understand, yes.
Have they given the band any options to consider during that time?
There are talks. I have sent some fresh negotiators from my council team, and they have yet to get back to them.
And then do any of these negotiations involve allowing them to continue seismic testing?
I can't really say too much to that effect. Right now, we're still waiting word from them.
So you're trying to establish contact with SWN,
Not only Swing, but with also the provincial government as well.
and it's difficult to establish a contact?
No, the contact is there.
Okay.
The concessions are what's difficult to establish.
So you're having talks?
Yes.
Yes, there's a young lady in the back. Identify yourself, please.
I'm the young lady, thank you.
Young lady, yeah? Yes.
My name is Michelle Marido with Radio Canada.
Yes.
I had a question for the chief. Is any meeting planned with the government and SWN like you had a week or two ago?
To my knowledge, we haven't actually set another date yet. We were supposed to have one scheduled for the end of this week, but again, I'll have to say that I haven't received word yet.
And how many peacekeepers do you expect to have here?
I would have to refer that back to Wendell.
At the moment, until we have the proper resources, we're obviously going to be reaching out to NGO organizations. We're going to be reaching out to the community as well to ensure that we have good training. And because it is a very difficult role, it is a very demanding role. And so we feel that it's going to be necessary to have people that can be available 24 hours a day. And that's what's happened to me over the past couple of days. So I've got not too much sleep, but enough that I'm able to stand up here today. But in any case, we will be reaching out. We talked with the John Howard Society and other organizations that could possibly help identify people that are neutral, that can also help with helping to communicate in times or events of present conflict. So.
I guess before we conclude, we're just going to take 2 more questions. Lady in the back, and you're next. Yes, identify yourself. Yes, Mr. Nicholas.
Just one question. In your years of experience since 2004, can you relate this situation here in New Brunswick to anything else you've seen?
Well, most definitely, I've been in the public policy field for 25 years with the Assembly of First Nations and other First Nations organizations. My profile is added in your package. There have been events involving conflict between First Nations and authorities in several places. And I reflect back also to on the West Coast when Luna the whale, was in one place, and people were from the indigenous communities were wanting protection, and also other activities where RCMP have been mandated to be present. I guess what I would say is that we have every opportunity here to allow peaceful demonstration, and for whatever outcome that happens here, that the safety of people, of individuals, is foremost, and so I will do the best that I can, as requested by the chief and the community, with the resources I have, in order to carry that out. And so I guess if I could say that I am optimistic that with the best communication, moving back and forth with the community leadership and with authorities, that we can ensure that people are safe.
Thank you once again, Wendell. And the last question is going to go to you, sir. Come on down.
Good morning. My name is Daniel Dauphin. I work for Latin Nobel. My question is for Chief Stock regarding to the Public Safety Corporation protocol. I would like to know if it's a final document or a draft open to negotiation. Have you already sent it to the RCMP headquarters? And are you confident that they are willing to work with you on its basis?
Can you say that again?
The Public Safety Corporation protocol, have you already sent it to the RCMP headquarters?
The public safety, yes.
Is it a draft or open to negotiation or a final document?
No, it's a final document.
And are you confident that the RCMP is willing to work with you on its basis?
I'm fairly confident, yes. They are trying, but like Mr. Nicholas had said, they do have a mandate. And I do understand that they have a job to do as well.
Okay.
That'll conclude our press conference today, but I want to thank you, the press, for taking the time to come to Elsipogtog. On behalf of the Elsipogtog Chief and Council, we appreciate all that's been going on, and also special thanks goes out to the people of Elsipogtog and the surrounding area for their contributions in the past few weeks. I want to thank the people of Elsipogtog and the surrounding area for supporting our people. Today you've seen history being made. We have all the chief council, we have the tribal council, we have the warrior chief over here. So it's a community that's very united. And I appreciate that. It's nice to see a community get together like this. It's beautiful, Elsipogtog, and I just want to thank the leadership and the people of Elsipogtog for allowing me to say a few words and to be the MC for this event. But office is now open for public security under the leadership of Wendell Nicholas. There's one guy I also wanted to thank is Brian Francis. Did a lot of work helping us out over here too, and the whole community. If I start mentioning more names, I'll come up with 200 names, and the communities, and your donations still keep coming in from food, water, or whatnot for our people that are manning the protest. But it's been peaceful. I think it's time we all work together, and I appreciate all the positive response that we had today. Once again, thank you very much.